and there's actually a slide. So yeah, I've never seen that, but there's actually a slide here, and I really don't know who can use that slide. Today I'm at Changi Airport, Terminal 4, which is the newest out of the 4 terminals at Changi Airport. I'm gonna show you around the most modern terminal at Singapore Airport. So follow me. Singapore Airline A330. That is the shuttle bus connecting Terminals 2 and Terminal 4. MRT is the subway. So once you arrive at MRT at Terminal 2, you need to take this free shuttle bus to Terminal 4. That's how we enter Terminal 4. I'm gonna take an AirAsia flight to Kuala Lumpur. I'm already checked in, so I have a mobile boarding pass, but there's a lot of self-checking counters as well as bag drop counter. That's how the terminal looks like. It's a pretty small and compact terminal. It's a fully detached building, so it's not really connected with terminals 1, 2 and 3. And here we can see the security check and the passport control, which is fully automated. This terminal is not accessible directly by the train, by the subway, so you will have to first jump off at Terminal 2 and then take a shuttle bus from there to Terminal 4. Someone sleeping there. There's someone assisting them, but essentially you can do it yourself. And there are AirAsia check-in counters at the stand 4, and AirAsia is the main user of the terminal. So when you look at the flight board, most of the flights are AirAsia flight, but overall this terminal is still operating way below its capacity, so there's gonna be still more airlines joining in. So there is McDonald's and a couple of Japanese or Korean restaurants, and there's also a food court, which definitely is gonna be the cheapest option. So that's like a blend of local food where you guys can get Chinese or Indian or Malay cuisine in a reasonable prices. Hi. There's a dim sum, there's Japanese cuisine. It looks pretty nice. So I have my AirAsia boarding pass here. So I put in my passport. Now I scan my boarding pass. Fingerprint. And here I am, so I crossed the border. So that was basically how you cross the border at Singapore's Changi Terminal 4. So pretty smooth experience, huh? Obviously there are manual counters if in case someone needs to use them, but hopefully you guys don't have to use them, because that's a pain always. And now off to the control, so the only manual interaction. So I'm on the 7:45 a.m. AirAsia flight to Kuala Lumpur, and as you guys can see, there's basically no other flight between 7:45 and 9:10 a.m., which is the next AirAsia Kuala Lumpur flight. So that's a confirmation of how underutilized the terminal still is, but that doesn't change the fact that Changi Airport is already planning to build terminal number 5, and they're actually collecting 10 Singapore dollars out of every departing passenger from any of the terminals for the fund for Terminal 5. So basically $8 out of every flight out of Changi Airport goes into a fund for terminal number 5. Pretty interesting. I really like the carpet here. It's a really nice touch. That's a feature of all the terminals actually, but I really like it. It makes you feel really cozy and doesn't make it feel like an airport or any sort of big airport for sure. I really like it. I recommend all the airports to do the same. I don't know how do they keep it clean, so clean, but it's really nice. So basically all of the gates are just along this one long stretch, and as you can see from here, to reach almost all of the gates, I think there's 18 gates. We have a Silk Air aircraft there, and it starts to be bright. It's 7 a.m. so that's the time the sun rises in Singapore, although it's a little bit rainy and cloudy today, so I don't expect a really nice sunrise. So you can definitely see how empty that place still is. As I said, the next after the flight I'm taking at 7:45 a.m. so in 45 minutes. The next flight is just at 9 a.m. so this is mostly just employees, people who are transiting, and early passengers. So there's a mini brewery from Tiger, which is Singapore's draft, and there's another food court upstairs, and you can definitely expect to eat there at reasonable prices. I'd say probably around 6 to 8 Singapore dollars per meal, which is around 5 to 7 USD. And here a little garden, so with the fish, as you know, in Terminal 2 there's also something like that. Look at this. Yes, I'm still at Changi Airport. I have not left. So it's as cozy as it can get at the airport. They're really comfy chairs with the plugs, so you can just rest, charge up your mobile devices, and just enjoy the environment. So if you forgot to buy your souvenirs during the hectic days in sightseeing Singapore, you can obviously do that here. Although those keychains cost you 10 Singapore dollars, which is around 7.5 US dollars. Not the cheapest. Back in Singapore's Chinatown, you can get a bunch of keychains for that price, so probably like 5 keychains for 10 Singapore dollars, whereas here you can just get one. Here we can see durian and some coffees and teas, some locals coffees and teas. And this is a pretty nice design in a Peranakan style, which is like the old Singapore style, or the whole Malay Peninsula style. As you can see, Peranakan and actually Rococo Baroque. Oh, there's actually more gates that I was not aware of, but it seems like there's more gates downstairs. And there's a couple of shops, but everything is just waking up to life. If you're transiting from Terminal 1, 2 or 3 to Terminal 4 on the same ticket. Probably, I mean, it is possible to transit within the transit area, so you don't have to cross the immigration. And there's gonna be also probably some shuttle bus, but like internal within the airport, and not outside of the airport. It's pretty interesting structure, and there's actually a slide. So yeah, I've never seen that, but there's actually a slide here, and I really don't know who can use that slide. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Probably have to buy a ticket or something. I mean, there's a counter for that. That's really cool. I mean, I have no idea though how to use that. I think it's just not open yet, but yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a slide. You can slide down to gates H. Although I don't think those gates are being used right now. I don't see any flight departing from gate H. As you can see, so I was not even aware those gates are here because they are never in use. So the last stop of the tour would be level 1. So at level 1 there's a lounge that's also accessible with a priority pass card. It's a Blossom lounge operated by Plaza Premium. Today I'm not stopping in because I don't have time for that. My flight is actually departing in 30 minutes, but normally I go there. It's just a basic lounge, and there's also a Cathay Pacific lounge on the left here, because Cathay Pacific is actually the only regular airline operating from this terminal. So that's the Cathay, and there we have the Blossom lounge. Actually, it's a joint venture, it seems, by SATS and Plaza Premium. There's also Cheers, which is like a Singapore version of 7-Eleven, although 7-Eleven is also available in Singapore. So that's just another chain, and you can actually get some snacks here. And there's a small gallery, the Peranakan gallery. So the Peranakan style that I mentioned earlier. So here we can see how those houses looked from the inside. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. About the diaspora, and the word Peranakan comes from Malay word anak, which means child, and it can be loosely translated as born locally. It's pretty nice. And here we can see the outfits that Singapore Airlines flight attendants wear. So they are coming out of the Peranakan style as well. Some pottery. Pretty nice place. It's good to have something like that at the airport, so it's not just all about business. I've never known that Peranakan means anak, means child, means born locally, but now I know. So I learned something today even, right? So yeah, it's good. I know. As I said, lastly, the food hall. So here you can see all the brands. So there are international brands like Subway and Burger King, and a lot of local Asian brands. And as I said, it's around 6 to 8 Singapore dollars per meal. So the prices are not inflated or not overly inflated compared to the city. Boarding process is fully automated. I'm actually one of the last passengers to board now because I was recording, so I get carried away. And here is the beautiful A320 AirAsia, new aircraft with the winglets. And now I'm gonna show you the automated boarding.
Your passport, sir?
Thanks.
Thanks.
So unfortunately, there was a human being assisting with their boarding, but you guys saw that people were boarding just with the machine. So they just want to expedite the boarding, so they put one person there, but there's no other reason for him to assist.